Hey, welcome back. Nice to see you. So, today I have something pretty cool for us all to go over together. It is what I call an Instagram inspiration automation. Why do I call it that? Because with this automation, I can put in an Instagram account that I like, an Instagram account that is of my competitors, and I can scrape their profile for the top post, and then I can get recommendations of what I can do that are similar to their top post, as well as image recommendations, etc., etc. And I'll get into the etc. by the way. But before I do that and get into the weeds, let me just show you exactly what this output is. So here is the final output of this automation. I put in 3 Instagram handles that I was interested in for inspiration. And looking at Humans of New York, I was given a post recommendation based on their most popular post with the most likes. That's how we're measuring popularity from their last 12 posts. So it pulls the post caption right into here for you, and it also pulls the post image right into here for you. And then it gives you recommendations for how you can craft a post that's similar. This is what I mean by Instagram inspiration. Are you getting it? I'm getting it. And well, I already got it. And the beauty of this is that this automation can always run in the background, whether you want to scrape these like Instagram profiles on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, or maybe every other day. Maybe they are super, super active. That's one of the beauties of automation. This can run automatically in the background. Let me introduce myself. My name is Kelly, and I run an AI marketing automation school community, and I'd love to invite you to join us. My school is about 3 things: automation that transforms, power of community, and always staying ahead of your competition. So if you're interested in any of that, I invite you to check out the details below, and if you like this tutorial, please subscribe and go check out my school. All right. Let's hop into the automation and start building this bad boy. So here is a first look at the automation. For this automation, we'll be using Airtable, Apify, and ChatGPT. So let's go into Airtable first and see what we'll be building out over there. So we're going to have 2 tables. First, you're going to want to set up a base. I named mine the Instagram inspiration base. And the first table that I'm going to have you set up, you could label as research. Then our first field is going to be called channel name. That is going to be a single line text field. Make sure you hit save. The next field I'm going to have you create is post. And this is going to be a long text field. This is where the post from the channel from Instagram will populate. Then we have the type of post. Single line text here as well. This will tell you whether the post is a video, whether it's a sidecar, or just a single image. Then we have likes. That's what you'll name this column. And our edit field for here is we're going to make it single line text. Then we want to look at the video views in case this is an Instagram video. Also a single line text field. Comments is going to be a long text field. We're switching it up just a little bit. This will show you how many comments the Instagram post has. Then we're going to have our URL field. So you're going to edit, drop down, select URL, and this will populate the URL for the Instagram post that it is pulling the information for. Last 2 here, we have the image URL. Again, you're going to use the drop down to select URL just like you did for the one before it, and same for video URL. All right. Now once this is all set up, in the research table, I'm going to have you create another table called Instagram recommendations. Now here is where the top Instagram post with the most likes for each handle that you put in will populate. So you want to have your handles in here already before you run the make automation. And your research table, it's okay if it's empty because it's going to pull the channel names from your Instagram recommendations with this automation. So in this table, the first field is going to be Instagram handle. You want to edit field and you want to choose single line text from the drop down. You'll see I already have some Instagram handles in here. These are more inspirational Instagram channels, leadership types of channels. Then the next column, you're going to want to label post recommendation. Edit this field to be a long text field, and you want to enable rich text formatting here. Next field is going to be called the most popular post link. So this is where a link to the most popular post for that channel will appear, and you're going to make this a URL field. We also have the most popular post caption. This essentially is the description that you type underneath your Instagram post. They call it a post caption. So we'll keep that the same here. And this is going to be a long text field. Then we have our most popular post image field, and this is going to come in as an attachment. It'll pull the image right in that's being used on Instagram. It's really, really cool. And then we have our number of likes because we want to see how many likes this top post had, don't we? So we're going to edit the field here, name it number of likes, and this will be a single line text field. And then we're always going to add in our last modified time. That way the make automation knows whether or not to pull this information or if it's pulled it already. So let's head into our make automation and see how all of this comes together. So in this make automation, the first module we're going to add is an Airtable module. So you're going to search for your connection. My connection for my base is called Instagram Inspiration Automation. I like the way it rhymes. And then my base is Instagram Inspiration Base. And the table that I'll first be pulling from and using is going to be Instagram recommendations. Then we have our trigger fields. We want to have our trigger field pulled here, so that's going to be last modified. And our label field is going to be Instagram handle. And there's a lot of choices here, so just make sure that you choose the correct one. And our limit we're going to leave at 10. So you can head down here and hit OK. Next, we're going to add in an Apify module. But before we do that, we actually have to set up an Apify account. So you can go to Apify, and what you do is you set up an account. It's pretty simple. It's a free account. Then you're going to want to go to the Apify store. And in the store, you're going to search for Instagram profile scraper. And there it is. Now let's open this up right here for you, and it'll give you Humans of New York as an example. And what you're going to want to do is run this, hit start. You need to run this at least once so our make automation can see that this is actually connected to our Apify API. If you don't run it, then it won't show up in the drop-down menu. So that's what we did here. We ran this once. Then we're going to go and you're going to click on your account. And here you will see the actors that you have used. And here's my Instagram profile scraper. So now right up here is API. I'm gonna copy my API to my clipboard. And heading back over to my make automation, you're gonna pop your API connection right up here into the top. And then we're gonna select the actor like I just told you about. If you use the actor, then it'll populate in this field here. And as you saw earlier, I had 3 actors that I had used, so they all populate. But for your instance, if you're just using the Instagram profile scraper, that's what you should be seeing right here. So you'll add that in. You want to click run. That is a hard word. You want to click run, yes. And then we're going to put a JSON input in. And you want to copy this exactly how it looks. You want your squiggly brackets, then you want your quotations, usernames. Make sure that your spaces are correct, and then for over here, you're just going to click into here and you're going to pull from your first Airtable the Instagram handle. So you'll select that. It'll be right here at the top. All right, so our first Apify module is created and ready to go. We'll hit OK here. Our second Apify module that we have set up is going to get dataset items from this previous Apify module. So in here, our connection should still be made because we just made that. And then we're going to want to set up the dataset ID. You can come in here and just search for that, dataset ID. There it is right there. Click that. It'll populate right here. We want our data transformation to be clean. This means no empty items, and it'll skip hidden fields. And we want the format to be in JSON. And we left this to a limit of 5, and you could do the same. Next, we're going to put in an iterator. So what this iterator here is going to do is it's going to pull the latest posts from the previous Apify module. And then it's going to funnel those latest posts into our Airtable. It's going to upsert a record into our Airtable. It's going to go into the base Instagram Inspiration Automation that I had before. And this is going to go into the research table. And once you select, because I have the 2 tables, so I have the research table and I have the Instagram recommendations table. So this is going into the research table. Hit the drop down on the record, and then we're going to put in some items to pull from the iterator into the Airtable. So for channel name, we want to put owner username. For post, that's going to be caption. Type of post is going to be type. Likes count, that falls under likes. We have video views, that's a video view count. Comments, comments count. Posted date, that's going to be timestamp. Then we have our URL, that's going to be our URL field. And image URL, display URL field. Video URL, this is getting repetitive, isn't it? But yes. And ID is going to be the ID select. Do you want any smart links in this? The answer is no, so make sure that's selected and then click OK. Also, just go ahead if you want. I've been scrolling slowly, so just go ahead and take a screenshot of this right here, since some of the names are different than their corresponding dropdowns. After that, we'll insert an array aggregator to close the loop here. This is very simple. You're going to pop this bad boy in, and you're going to select Iterator 7, which is this guy right here, and that's it. You hit OK, and now this will highlight in gray, and this is a closed loop function. Going back to our Airtable, this is a search records Airtable module. Make sure that you have your base selected, and the table that we're going to use for this is research. Now you're going to want to drop down for some sorting, and we're going to sort by likes, and we're going to sort by descending order. So for field, you want to put likes underneath it, and for direction, you want to go descending. So we have the most liked posts at the top and the least liked posts for that channel at the bottom. For our output fields here, you can select all. Then we're going to go into this formula right here. It needs to be just as is, channel name with the squiggly brackets. Then you're going to want a space, equal sign, space. Then you're going to do quotations, and you're going to pull from the second Apify to get the username. And the second Apify is the get dataset items. So you select a username right here, and that gets plugged in. And then one of the most important parts of this is down here. We're going to change this limit to make sure it says 1, because we only want it to pull the top post, one top post for each channel that you have put into your Airtable. And then you're going to select OK. Now let's build a prompt with ChatGPT. So this is our OpenAI module, and this is a chat completion module. So we're going to want to make sure that you have your connection set up. You might have to go through an authorization. Then you're going to do select method, create a chat completion, select model. I always go with the latest ChatGPT model. It's just my personal preference. Then under messages, we're going to select the role as user. And then we have our prompt right here for what we want to happen. So here it says, you are a social media expert that specializes in creating posts for Instagram. Here is a popular Instagram post from a person that I admire and follow on Instagram. Then you're going to insert the post. That's going to come from your Airtable search records. And you'll say, continue on to say, look at this post and its image and come up with 3 ideas from this for my own Instagram post. You can copy ours as we have it here, or you can come up with your own prompt as you see fit. Moving down here, we have image input type. You're going to want to select that to be a URL. And then we also have image URL, which is very simply the image URL, which will pull from the Airtable search records module. Max completion tokens here, you can just leave this as is and hit OK. So now we have done all the research on the Instagram channels that we're interested in. We have aggregated them and sorted them to get the top post for each channel that we like. And now we want that to populate back into our Airtable. So let's make that happen. We're going to add in an Airtable upsert a record module. And we're going to connect to the same base we've been connecting to, but this time we're going to choose the table Instagram recommendations. This is where our final output is going to go. Our record ID, we're going to want to select from our first Airtable, which is a watch records module over here. So you're going to scroll down and you'll pull that ID from right here. Then we're going to skip the Instagram handle because we already have that in our Airtable. And then we're going to go into our post recommendation. This is coming from ChatGPT. We want to select choices, and then underneath choices, there'll be message, and under message, you want to select content. So those 2 options will populate there. Moving on, we're going to do the most popular post link. That's the URL. This will come from our search records Airtable. So that'll be right here. We'll click URL. Then there's also the most popular post caption for here. That comes from the same Airtable search record as well. And then we have file URL, and you could select image URL for under that one. And finally, we want to look at the number of likes. So we're going to go in and select likes from our Airtable search records module. And you can find that right here. Smart links, no, we don't want them. Make sure that's selected and then hit OK. So in review, really briefly, I just want to go over each module. We have a watch records module for Airtable. We have a run an actor module for Apify. Then we have a get dataset items for Apify. We insert an iterator. Then we have our upsert a record Airtable module. And then we have our array aggregator. Then comes to a search records Airtable module. Then we have OpenAI, create a completion prompt. And we have upsert a record to Airtable. So those are the modules that you'll be setting up. So now we're going to run this automation so you can see how everything populates. But before we do that, let's select the Instagram handles that we like to follow. Maybe they're Instagram handles of our competitors that we want to keep a pulse on. So for example, what I've done here on our Instagram recommendations table, under Instagram handle, I have pasted 3 handles that I'm interested in. What it's going to do is it's going to pull the most 12 recent posts from these Instagram channels, and then it's going to give you the information for what the post is about, how many likes it has, how many counts it has, everything that's in our research tab right here. All of these fields are going to be populated and filled out. And then after that's populated and filled out, it's going to get put into our aggregator and our iterator, and that's going to put all the information into here, what the post recommendation can be for us based off of their most popular post. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about there, because I got a little bit in the weeds. So these are the 3 handles that I'm going to work with. Now, I'm going to go ahead and run once the automation. Also, save the automation if you haven't saved it already. Save it as you go along, please. So what's happening right now is the run actor is looking at the first Instagram handle, and it is scraping that Instagram account. After this is done running, this Apify is going to grab the dataset items that we're looking for in our research table. So here it decides what's going to go into our research table. As you can see, it's populated 36 different posts from the 3 handles that I put in, which we'll go check out. And then over here, this Airtable decides which post is number 1 for each Instagram handle. And this one analyzes the number 1 post for you and makes recommendations. And then it puts them back up into Airtable. Now that we just ran that automation, let's go see what it populated. So here's our research table. So for the 3 handles I put in, you can see it's pulled 12 of the most recent posts for Humans of New York. So what are my recommendations? What's going on here? This is a lot of information. No, it's not. Click into your Instagram recommendation table, and in here you'll see the handles just as I had them before, and here will be your post recommendation based on their most popular post. So let's look at Humans of New York again. So their most popular post is this, of the past 12 posts. Now we're given a recommendation that is inspired by that post for us. So it gives us a caption idea, a visual idea, a minimalist text post with a statement like, create with a purpose, not just for profit, or a photo of yourself in your creative process. Then it gives you another option, the title of it, your caption idea. There's beauty in creating something for the sheer love of art. So this post was about art, so it's giving you recommendations along those lines. And again, it gives you visual ideas. It gives you prompts for people in your posts. What value do you hold close to your heart in your art? That's hard to say. Heart in your art. Comment below. So these are very engaging recommendations that are coming back. It gives you a recommendation for what you can say. It gives you a recommendation for the type of image you can put. And then even in the caption, it puts in like call to actions for people to like respond to you. It has all the basic functionalities that a post should have. Well, yeah, that's my Instagram inspiration automation. I hope you liked it. I hope you love the tutorial. I hope you build it out. I hope that you use it, and comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like how it works. Also, if you got this far in the video, hit that subscribe button and come back for more. I can't wait to see you for the next one. Toodles!